Hello StarCraft fans, and welcome to another replay. This time we're going to do the first match that's not in the main part of the tournament, as the main tournament has now ended, and we're into the small knockout section which will decide the players for the final round. This match we're about to do, once I find it, is the Yanis versus James Lake. Should be a good one. So we have James over here, Deathlake, the Protoss in green, versus Yanis, Genie, the Protoss in orange. Let's get the tabs up. Let's see what's going on. Right, so very little happening so far. Pylon's going down. Yanis choosing to throw down his first pylon over here. An interesting choice. Not entirely sure what that's likely to lead to. Both players, however, not doing much interesting. Okay, let's see. Oh, bit of scouting coming on from over here. Looks like the Zolnaga is going to go on, see if he can find out anything. Yanis now throwing down the Forge first. Okay, whereas James has gone for the slightly more standard Gateway first. Forge first tends to indicate that the owner is planning on building some fairly early photon cannons, as Forge is the requirement for a photon cannon. This could be either offensively or defensively. Yanis, having been known previously in the tournament for his photon cannon rushes, may be going for another one of those. However, if he is, it's quite likely to be spotted by James, as James has had vision of this Forge and will know that photon cannons are limiting. James Mill Gateway just about to finish up. James getting quite a few minerals here, so hopefully we'll be building some stuff from that as soon as possible. Yeah, Harry, shut up. Okay, so another StarCraft fans, this is the problem with trying to cast in Hilden, a lot of people. Maybe some slight interruptions, but never mind. We can get through that. As I say, gas going up to here, both projectors down there. Simulator, sorry, this is Protoss. So the players starting to work up their gas income. Not much army production though. James had this gateway going for a considerable amount of time, has yet to build actually anything for it, and is running up quite a significant number of minerals. Yes. This is the problem with Micro. You see, James is very effectively here preventing Yanis from killing his probe, which is a good thing. However, by trying to save the 50 minerals by not letting the probe die, he is also wasting quite a lot of minerals, or letting a lot of minerals build up, because he's not doing anything to his base. Which is a tad unfortunate, really. Yeah. Generally speaking, as a player of this level, you don't want to be spending too much time looking at your units. You want to be spending most of the time looking at your base, macroing up, building a huge economy, and building a huge army. I have a feeling James probably hasn't looked at the top right corner of his screen for a while, so he's probably not aware of the huge amount of minerals he's currently sitting on. Yeah, just checking out that Zealot. It's not doing much. Yeah, look, it's a gateway. Build stuff from that. Anyway. However, James, one thing he does have is vision. So he's seen this wall of here. He knows it's going to be Yanis, however. He see nothing. He doesn't know a thing. So you can see there is a gap through this wall off here, which is blocked by the Zealot. So if anything wants to come through, it's going to have to go through that Zealot and this Stalker now. So that should be a pretty effective wall off. That should manage to hold off anything James managed to send in for the first few minutes of the game. And this photon cannon is going to help as well. Getting some research done. Research very, very important in this game. Increases the damage and survivability of your units by a significant amount. James finally realised his huge amount of minerals and is going to try and throw down Yanis cheekily spits a pylon just away and then cancels it, thus slowing James down slightly. So yes, has now chrono boosted this gateway, which will allow it to produce units much, much faster. But generally speaking, better than having one chrono boosted gateway, have about 3 or 4 gateways, and ideally even better, turn them into warp gates. As warp gates can only build one unit at a time, but can build them anywhere where you have a pylon, which is extremely handy. Yanis, as we can see, nearly finished up a little bit himself, and has also finished up the second base. He should, even though both players fairly quick at the minute, Deathlake should soon be getting himself quite a significant income advantage. Some units going on. Yeah, so neither player at this moment has really got much of an army at all. And both players are starting to build up a slightly worrying amount of spare units. Yanis especially has a large amount of gas. Generally speaking, in my experience, when I find I have a lot of gas, a good thing to build with that is sentries, which Yanis doesn't currently have any of. They're extremely useful units, very bad to stand up fight themselves, but have a number of abilities that can very heavily infuse the guards. James as well. They also cost very few minerals and quite a lot of gas, making a very good way to absorb any excess gas you happen to have. And given that you're almost certainly going to be building sentries anyway, you want to build them quite early, because that allows them to build up and supply energy. And you can spam abilities all day. So James, having set up this worker to hold his own Mega Tower, has given him vision on Yanis' pylons, so that's going to die. Also, Observer there, very useful unit. You see not much health, hardly any shields at all, but they are cloaked, so those things can't see them. They are detectors, making them an ideal scout unit as you can go around pretty much unopposed, have a look, see what your opponent's doing. Don't get too close to this photon cannon though, because that will kill you with 3 hits, as photon cannons deal 20 damage per shot, and this thing only has 60 effective HP. Blink also go down for Yanis. Yanis, as we can see, got quite a lot of stalkers there, and Blink will increase their maneuverability significantly, making them quite a threat. So far, Yanis slightly ahead in the upgrades path. He's on 001, whereas James is on still nothing, but he's catching up. Stargate going down as well, but really needs to be spending some of these minerals. Like, you're still on 1 gateway. It's the 6-minute mark. You should have more gateways. A good rule of thumb is you want, certainly for your first base, go up to at least 4 gateways. Probably you want to be adding a few more with each extra base you build. This will vary depending on how much of your army is going to be gateway-based units, but certainly at this point, gateways cost 150 minerals each. You have far more than that. Build 3 or 4 gateways and just start churning out units. That will be a far more effective way of eating into these minerals than just chrono boosting out the occasional stalker. That's going to take forever to eat those minerals away. As we can see, James actually increasing in the number of minerals. He's mining minerals faster than he can spend them, and that's a very bad situation to be in StarCraft. This robot bay here sitting there doing absolutely nothing. We don't want to see that. Get that building stuff. Research some warp gates. Build another forge. 2 forges is absolutely fine, especially if you have this many resources. Also, you have a forge, get that researching things. We don't want to be seeing empty forges, not when you have this many resources available. Yanis, however, now taken possession of the Zelnaga Tower. Both players being fairly conservative at this point, this being presumably getting towards the finals. Neither player wants to risk too much on any super bold plays. Neither player really doing a lot of scouting. James still... Does he have his... No, I think the Observer's gone. Let's see, what's the James vision of? Oh no! There's the Observer. This is one of the disadvantages of Observers, of course, because they're slightly translucent. It can be quite hard, even as the owning player, to work out where the Observers are. So, the trick to that is by little hotkey, or separate to the hotkey in the main army, and then you can always be able to find them. So Yanis slightly splitting his forces at the moment. He's got a little bit of a force over here, a little bit of a force over here, and ooh, what is this? Proxy base, very nice. Now this is his 3rd base. James still on 2. So once that has finished up, Yanis will have quite a significant economy lead on his opponent, which is always a good thing to have. More economy means more units means more killing. James has sent his Observer over here, not entirely sure what he plans to do there. Maybe he thinks Yanis is about to expand there. Well, Yanis has expanded. James, however, got a very nice defense setup going on there. There's 2 photon cannons, 2 pylons available to be photon overcharged. Photon overcharge only costing 50 energy, so you could quite easily photon overcharge all of these and force field off this round. So Yanis is going to have a very hard time getting off this round if he chooses to do so. But again, don't like to see this splitting your army. Kind of understandable here, of course, because you do want to have a little bit at home, maybe, just in case they come up with it. This is a large volume of stalkers, though, which is interesting, because they do have Blink, which does heavily imply Yanis is going to try and go for some epic blink throws around. But little probe has given James probably an inkling that something funny is going on here. Yeah, so if he's watching there, he will be seeing this army go past. Is he watching? No, I don't think he is. He sees it in the minimap, so maybe he's running that. See, put the camera over here, so he's probably aware something's going on. Probably not aware quite what, though. So Yanis is going to sit his army up here. Probably planning to blink across the gap. I'm pretty sure that's within Stalker blink range. Looks like it is. So you got the observer here. Can the observer see anything? No, that's Yanis. Yanis, to say, still has pretty much no idea what his observer's got. And this observer still cannot see the Stalkers, which is quite annoying. Ooh, James getting started throwing alarms, which would heavily imply he's got some Colossus somewhere. Yes.
Research complete.
Colossus, these are very good units. Excellent against ground, especially in large numbers. Their thermal blast does a kind of sweep pattern across the entire front line of the enemy army, which can deal a large amount of damage indeed. As Yanis, as we can see, happens to be here. So quite a good choice from Yanis there, I think. What's Yanis got? Okay, just some Stalkers still. Gravitic boosters. Increase the movement speed of your observers, quite handy. Observers, now Yanis is just beat to large portion of the Stalkers up there. Much them much straight to James' army. So this is the thing, I think due to the fact this is quite a large gap, Yanis can't blink all of these Stalkers across the same time. As you see there, only 5 of them made it across. And 5 Stalkers was this size, so it's looking good. So picking a few things up, it's really high with the charge up some nasty damage things. Phoenixes can lift up the Stalkers, preventing them from doing anything. Yanis, however, did manage to take out that pylon. Also hallucinated the Colossus there, nice, managed to scare away the army. That's quite good. Say, did take out the pylon that was powering this Twilight Council, which means the Twilight Council will be unable to do any research. However, the level 2 upgrades that are enabled from having the Twilight Council are still in effect. So say 0-1-1 now for James, 1-1-1 for Yanis. So again, Yanis with a slight advantage in the upgrades, but nothing overly significant. James still got most of his army parked here. I don't think he really knows... Well, Yanis now has a bit more vision due to have marched up there. Yeah, James still doesn't have much of an idea where Yanis is. Does know that there's this walker down here. Maybe he'll want to have a pop at that? I don't know. I certainly would if I was in his position. So this observer, I think, is going to go over there. So as I say, he's seen this, he wants to know what else is going on. Yanis has no way of knowing this observer is coming. He has no photon counters, no detection or anything, which is kind of annoying because he has a large number of robotics facilities. Generally speaking, he's rival the railway. The first thing I like to build out of it is an observer. I tend to always make sure I have at least one observer on the map because they're so cheap and so useful. So this is the heavy disadvantage of splitting up the army, as this portion of the army and this portion of the army are 2 times across the map. If these 2 armies were in the same place, certainly this force, because he chooses to split them and then not do anything with them, James' army can run around and pick them off one at a time. So that was some poor positioning by Yanis there, I think, and a nice pickup by James. However, this army is slightly larger. Using two Colossus versus 2 Colossus. That one, however, Yanis didn't notice. It took a couple of seconds out of the fight, not shooting anything, which could rouse the discipline of Yanis. Yanis with his huge number of war gates, very senior numbers of Stalkers. James, I think, is probably still on. Oh, he's got a few warp gates, sorry, gateways now, but you really want to be upgrading them to warp gates. Gateways are in that state of the game. So you see those few Stalkers got pretty massacred by the Colossus. Were able to take it out one last, and of course, due to the number of warp gates he has, he can replace them very easily. Colossus a lot harder to replace than Stalkers, so a good trade by Yanis there. James now, doesn't have all the things. He does have the potential to put up interestingly. Yeah, very good. So just going to march up here. Almost certainly take out most of his base, which is very easy to get. Already someone to take out his base. James trying to march small bits of his army. This is army, that's not a good idea. They will just die. Number of photon cannons here coming up, so you realise this base is toast. Has wide before he works out, most of it anyway. He's got a few workers focus out here, see if he can maybe build another base somewhere, try and salvage that. Yeah, so you see the other problem that this has here is a lot of his armies up there, a very large portion is down here. You don't want to split your army. This Stalkers right here, that's a large investment and it's still this army is taking care of these photon cannons. These Stalkers were up here with the rest of his army. Yeah, there's only one man fight very easily. As it is, he loses all of his Colossus. Colossus? Who knows? And thus allows James to get back in the game, which is really not what Yanis needs to do here. Again, these Stalkers up here with the rest of it, don't get muppet, don't simply get at the time. Take both of these out, and obviously I don't want to go up this round because get some of it up there, and then you've got the decision of the army, and that's what makes it sound as regarding the shield, it does now give a thing Yanis, however, does still have a mighty, in fact, a pretty much absolute economy lead over his opponent. James does have this Nexus down, which will start mining stuff pretty quickly with the only base James has left. He's entirely mined out. So what Yanis wants to do here is, rather than sending the time benefits his army one at a time, which is just going to do absolutely nothing, he wants to stay where he is, build a huge army, sit it right outside of James's base, that if James wants to come down to him, James has to go through the ramp, and then Yanis will have the positioning advantage. He would then be able to see these workers coming through, and will be able to stop them from revitalizing James's economy. Yeah, both players are still continuing with the Colossus. They are quite effective, especially against something like this large volume of Zealots. And as we see, yes, the Mothership Core, mightiest of all the Protoss units. It's incredibly tanky, it has lots of energy, it can cast abilities all day, and its best attribute certainly is the stealth field. Anything within a fair radius of the Mothership Core is instantly stealthed. And Yanis' army, as we can see, has no detection, and also have no shooting air. Let's see what Yanis sees here. This is absolutely nothing. He sees another ship, but he can't shoot it because all he's got are Zealots. So that was some, lack of scouting there by Yanis. Does, however, do the smart thing, realises that he can kill this army and tries to run away. But I don't think so enough. Has got some Stalkers in there, that's a good choice. Stalker's pretty good against motherships, he's not going to shoot air, but unfortunately what this mothership has underneath it is a large number of Colossus. The best thing I would say to build against a mothership is genuinely some observers. Observers are quite cheap and reveal all of this stuff that's underneath the mothership. You don't have to kill the mothership or the stuff underneath it. Motherships are incredibly tanky, they don't really have a lot of damage, so you can ignore the mothership and just shoot stuff underneath, and generate an advantage. And yes, as we can see, has a very good economy and quite a number of robo-bays, or at least one, which is frankly all you need. We've got a few more over here as well. There we go, finally he's getting the observer rate here, that's very good. Another thing with observers is they are quite fragile, and if we get detectable, it should is very good. Yeah, I don't think we can see an observer come out before he died. So as I say, observers are very good against a mothership, but an observer on its own is not attack. So you need is an army that can take beating so that it survives, as well as wipe out its weapons. And production target, Yanis really want to build another. Yeah, sure. Oh yes, production target. Of course, James has been winning all of these engagements rather heavily due to Yanis conquering his army. Yeah. Yanis lost more than twice as many resources to the army as James has very bad. So he has built his void base, that's what he wants to do this. The void base with his cannon. Pretty much it's all right, because they are mechanical and armoured. And they get good bonus damage against them. have again 2 boilers to use to run. What Yanis needs to do really here is stop its army sending it. This is already growing into a decent front there, and therefore it's going to get stopped by other Deathlakes, or just kind of running around the back and killing this base. This base is the only thing James has for income. So if Yanis, who I don't think has vision of it, sadly has not seen this base, if he could take that out, which would be quite hard, because this army is up fast. Yeah, Yanis is coming out, but he's being taken out by James. So, despite James being on the back foot very heavily for most of the early game, he's now in a commanding position, and frankly, I think at the moment it is James' game to lose. Yanis gone for huge numbers of High Templar, researching Psionic Storm. High Templar on their own, decent against Mothership. They do have feedback, which will deplete all of its energy, stopping it from using its fancy abilities and dealing good damage to it. But once they get Storm, that's when the fun really begins. Still, however, no observers. I really cannot recommend strongly enough getting some observers. Get 3 or 4 observers. They're cheap, they build fast, and they will allow you to shoot this army. If you can't shoot the opponent's army, you will lose. This is one of the more basic fundamentals of StarCraft. This base, this is your only source of income. This is your lifeline back into the game. Do not keep your army away from it. As currently will be demonstrated by here, why that's a bad idea. To say Yanis now, even if you wanted to defend this base, at the end of the time, these Colossus will absolutely get annihilated in range. Storms will pop up in these rivals. That's what's happening. Say, large number of High Templar here. They are building up enough energy, so expect a good number of storms. So the problem with High Templar, though, they don't actually warp in with enough energy for a storm. They get those down. So I believe I'm right in saying storms can hit clone units, can't they? So sadly, Yanis got a good number of storms down, as we can see. Yeah, it does damage them. So a few kills done there, but sadly this kind of army, Templars are extremely squishy, and he did manage to give the Mothership a bit of a posting, but not enough to kill it, and it still has a lot of energy, so he really should have been using those feedbacks. Thanks very much. Whoop, hang on a minute. Stop.